Ate Tao. Ate Citadel.
Hi, Miss Tony.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Welcome back
Oh, thank you.
to the Philippines. Kailan kayo dumating?
We left the US 17 and we got here the 19th.
Saan kayo sa States?
I live in Chicago. I'm from Chicago, Illinois.
Doon mo rin na-meet yung ex-husband mo. Bakit parang naisip mo na I am willing to share my story? Gusto kong i-share yung story ko.
It's about time. Hindi ako nagsasalita dahil nahihiya ako sa sinapit ko. Hindi ako makapunta sa church namin. Pupunta ako sa church namin. Huy, Citadel, yung naked pictures mo. Nakita ko sa social media, sabi ng asawa mo, ganito ka daw, ganyan. Hiwalay ka na pala. Napapahiya yung mga anak ko, Miss Tony. Kailangan ko na magsalita. So nag-reach out ako at sabi ko, magsasalita ako para maisabi ko yung kwento ko na hindi dapat nagtatago lang tayo, natatakot, nahihiya bilang biktima ng domestic abuse.
So ngayon, it's time to take that power back and own your story so they can never use it against you.
Very well said. And on top of that, divorced na ako, ang matagal na. Pero kumakalat pa rin on and off yung mga naked pictures ko. I can't live a normal life, Miss Tony. Sa expressway sa US, makikita mo, behind me, 5 cars behind me, is my ex-husband driving. I go to court and the court would tell me, oh, it's a public place. He has to stay away from you 500 feet away from you. I'd go to a grocery store. He's just right there, 500 feet away from me. Only 500 feet away. But the gun, he owns a gun. That doesn't protect you 500 feet away.
Kasi yung story ni Miss Citadel, it goes way back nung childhood niya, di ba? If you were to describe yourself nung bata ka, paano mo i-describe yung sarili mo?
Si Citadel nung bata, masayahing bata. Pangarap niya lang makatapos ng pag-aaral, matulungan ng pamilya. Kasi hindi naman kami mayaman. Yung family ng daddy ko, lahat ng mga kapatid niya nasa Amerika. Pinadadalan lang kami ng mga kapatid. Bunso yung daddy ko eh. Spoiled. Kaya nangangarap ako, Miss Tony, noon. Palang araw, sabi ko, tuwing inahatid namin sila sa airport, sasakay din ako ng eroplano. Mag-aaral ako ng mabuti. Tutulungan kong pamilya ko. Yun lang, Miss Tony, pangarap ko. Tapos, active ako sa church.
Yung unang abuse na na-experience mo, sad to say, sa church at sa
Oo.
pastor. Okay, so paano nangyari yun?
Nag-mission trip kami. In-invite ako sa town nila, mag-speaker. Kasi youth leader ako eh. Kasama yung mother ko and the women ministry. Sa ano yun eh, sa Kalibo, Aklan. Malapit sa Boracay. Niyaya lang ako mag-Boracay, papasyal daw. Eh may motor siya. Tapos kasi noon, bangka lang. I'm from Mindoro, town lang. Magbo-boat lang kami. Sabi niya, ay gusto ko nang umuwi. So, niyaya niya lang ako. Kala ko makakauwi na ako. Eh, pagpunta nga nun ng Boracay, sabi punta ng Boracay, uwi na. Nung uwi na kami ng Mindoro, wala naman palang bangka. Kumuha ng kwarto. Wala namang mga hotel-hotel doon. Kumuha lang ng kwarto. Yun na.
In-abuse ka na. Anong ginawa mo? Hindi ka
Hindi ka
lumaban?
naman makasigaw eh. 2000, wala naman ng cellphone. Wala pa ako cellphone noon. Hindi pa nauuso cellphone. Nauso noon yung Nokia, pero ang mahal-mahal. Tanda ko yun. Wala ako cellphone. Sa probinsya, yung kuliglig pa. Wala namang kuryente. Saan ako tatakbo? Di ba pag ayaw mo? Pag pinilit ka, rape yun eh.
Oo, rape yun.
He took something away from me. Na iniingatan ko, your pride and honor is your virginity as a woman. Iniingat-ingatan ko yun, Miss Tony. Di ba dapat ibibigay mo lang yun to the person that you love?
So paano ang nangyari after that incident?
Nung umaga, hinintay namin sa bangka, Pantalan yung tawag nila doon, probinsya, no? Sa Pantalan, pauwi na yung women ministry, yung group ng mami ko. Nung nakita ko yung mami ko, lumapit ako, sabi ko, Mami, ginalaw niya po ako. Hindi na po ako virgin. Umiyak yung mami ko. Pero, nung umiyak, syempre yung mga women ministry, O bakit kayo umiiyak mag-iina? Ay, wala, nag-ano lang. Bakit parang nahihiya pa? Nahihiya pa yung mami ko na sabihin na, ako, sinabi ko na sa kanya, tapos ako, I felt shame. And pagdating ng San Jose, nung hometown namin, kinausap ang tatay ko, ng mami ko, ang tingin sa'yo, ang daddy ko, dahil di ka na virgin, syempre yung purity mo was taken away from you. Pakasalan, patawag ang magulang, ay pakasal. Ayoko magpakasal, Miss Tony. Nawalan ka na nga. Ipapakasal ka pa sa taong hindi mo mahal. Sabi ko, ayoko magpakasal. Pinakasal ako. Nabuntis ako, Miss Tony. I kept my mouth shut for the longest time. Kinahihiya kung buntis ako, hindi ako lumabas for the whole 9 months. Bigla ako nagbago eh. Nagkaroon ka ng hatred sa church. Hindi ka na-protectahan. I resented my parents. Tapos at the same time, Miss Tony, dahil mababa yung tingin ko sa sarili ko kasi siguro okay lang sa akin to. Pangit naman ako eh. Habang lumalaki ka, Miss Tony, lagi kang sinasabi ang pangit. Anong mararamdaman mong paglaki mo? Di ba? Tanggap mo na sa sarili mo na pangit ka. You'll settle for less all the time. Yun yung nagagawa nung
Words.
the power of words. Words can really break you or kill you inside.
So, nung iniwan mo yung marriage na yon, ano ang reaksyon ng mga tao, ng pamilya mo?
Nagpaalam ako sa pastor. I'm so sorry, I really don't love him. Ay, hindi mo pwedeng iwan abandonment of marriage. It's against sa sa religion namin. Kahit anong gawin nyo, tanggalin nyo na ako sa church, that's fine. Kahit di na ako makapag-missionary, that's okay. Isipin mo, Miss Tony, for me to get to that point, nakalimutan yung first love ko. Yung maglingkod lang, mag-missionary lang. I left the church and I left him, so na-charge ako ng abandonment of marriage. Iniwan ko na yung anak ko sa mami ko. Nakipaghiwalay na ako ng ayos kasi para sa akin, okay yung hiwalayan, pero hindi tanggap ng church, that's fine. At least nagpaalam ako. Nanahimik ako. Kung ano man yung mga chismis na umalis si Sita dahil iniwan ng asawa, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. At that time, nang bagong buhay ako sa Amerika, after 5 years, na-meet ko naman yung ito yung husband ko.
Ex-husband.
Ex-husband ngayon. Miss Tony, na-meet ko sa church. At ang
Church
first
ulit?
date namin, ay oo.
Church
Wala
ulit?
akong kadala-dala. Nag-volunteer sa mga bata, sa So, first love ko,
Missionary.
mag-missionary sa ang heart ko. Gusto ko, I wanna find someone who is, that shares the same values as I did.
Pagbabalikan mo, may red flags yun eh. Ano yung mga red flags na isinantabi mo? Para kung may nanunood sa atin ngayon at nakita nyo ng may mga ganitong red flags, please huwag nyo nang ituloy dahil magiging ganito ang ending, di ba?
When we went out on a date, he left the keys in his car, dinaglap, sumigaw, no! And then he just started doing this. I have to call, it's expensive, I have to call the locksmith, blah, blah. That's scary. Like, usually, if you're dating a guy, best foot forward, kahit maiwan yung keys, okay lang yan, that's fine.
Ito, nagwala.
Oo, nagwala. Yun, isa lang yun. Isa yun sa
Yes,
nakita
sa
ko.
11 months.
Yung nanliligaw sa akin from our church dun sa Chicago, binugbog niya, Miss Tony. Nakita niya lang tatawa. Sabi niya, are you interested in Citadel? You know, she's my girlfriend. Iyon, red flag na dapat. Pero at that time, parang naintindihan ko na sabi niya, I was just jealous. It's just my jealousy. In love eh.
So, nagwala sa susi, binugbog yun ng liligaw sa'yo. Isa pang major red flag na napansin mo.
I caught him cheating on me. Nakita ko yung phone niya. And when
Alam mo yung password?
No. It kept on ringing. He's just right there. Laying on the couch, yung recliner, nagre-ring sa may coffee table. Kinuha ko, hindi niya pinipick up. Jenny is the name. And he told me his ex-girlfriend, ex-live-in partner's name is Jenny. So, Jenny. It's okay. I woke him up. Jenny. Ignore it. It's nothing, Text messages came on coming in. Well, no password. That's his mistake, not mine. I scrolled down.
Anong nabasa?
8 women, different women.
O paano mo siya kinonfront nun?
I just tapped him in the back, softly, gently. I'm not the kind of person that's, no. Here's your phone. Get out. Leave. We're done. He cried. He knelt down, cried and cried. I love you. I love you. It's just a mistake. I said, just leave. He left. The next day, funeral home na naman ang bahay ko. Flowers na naman. Thousands of dollars na yon. Every day, my flowers. I took him back. I love him. After dating him for 11 months, he proposed marriage. I married him. 2 days after the marriage, asked me for my bank account to pay for all his debts. Binigay ko bank account ko.
Gaano utang niya nung na-discover mo?
Over 100,000. But the credit cards, it's around 18 plus he took out a loan from his house, like mga 30s or something. I paid off all his credit cards. I did.
Kailan lumabas yung tunay niyang ugali nung nagpakasal kayo?
2 days after.
Isa-isa lang lumalabas yung baho. 'Di ba? So may utang, pinakasalan mo. Paano napunta sa domestic abuse?
Kapapanganak ko sa daughter ko. Hindi ako pinuntahan sa hospital, Miss Tony. He just dropped me off. Nauna pang dumalaw yung brother-in-law ko. Hinanap siya. I gave birth at 9 o'clock at night. He came back to the hospital mga 2 p.m., 3 p.m. because I said, I'm hungry. I want something. I don't want
Nasaan siya
hospital food.
pumunta nung nanganak ka? Ng babae?
I just found out he slept. Yeah.
Ng babae?
He cheated on me.
Habang nanganganak ka?
Yeah. I forgave him. Because when you're a mother, mas sensitive ka. I need him. Because I have a baby now. I need a father for my baby. Iniwan niya kami sa apartment ko sa Chicago. Di ba nandun ako sa Chicago? May sarili siyang bahay niya. Intuition kicked in. Bakit hindi pa siya umuwi? He would always say, I'm going to play games. You can play games dito sa apartment ko. No, the Xbox is in my house. I'll drive to my house. I know the address of his house. Miss Tony, wala pa nung Google. Print out ko lang yung MapQuest. Trinave ko, pagdating ko doon, Miss Tony, I have a key. Yung garage door, hindi nag-open yung pin. Narinig niya, he came down. Nanginginig kasi ako eh. Inaano ko yung susi, bumaba. Binuhat niya ako. Shirtless. Sabi ko, why? Why are you not letting us in? Go back into your car. Go back home to Chicago. Go back to your place. He grabbed me, so I was like, and then the light turned on upstairs in our bedroom, and I said, there's someone there. Siyempre, nagwala na ako. Pag nagwala na ako, binalik niya ako sa car ko, pinaalis niya ako, ayokong umalis, tumawag siya ng police. He's the one who called the police on me, and he told the police she doesn't want to leave, and then she told the girl, she's just my ex, just trying to, I'm the ex, but I was the wife. I'm the wife at that time. And then the police said, do you have a marriage contract? Yes, yeah, we're married. I know we're married. And this is our daughter. And you know, in front of me, tinanong ng police sa kanya, sa door, Sir, do you know this woman? No, I don't know her. As soon as he said no,
Malis ka na.
until now, I hate him for denying my daughter. He can deny me that I'm his wife, but denying that it's our daughter, that is something already.
Ba't hindi mo pa siya iniwan nung time na yun? Harapan ka na.
Mahal ko eh. Miss Tony, kinausap ko pa yung babae sa bintana. Sumilip pa kasi.
Oo, ano sabi mo?
What are you doing up there? It's our house. Bumalik na ako ng Chicago. Sinabi ko sa parents niya, your son cheated on me, blah, 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 blah. Bumalik siya. Pagpunta niya ng Chicago, ayoko siyang balikan. Nag-start na. Binato niya na ako. Tapos, binato niya ako ng box ng Kleenex. Pagbato niya sa akin, why? I saw the rage. Natakot na ako noon. Tapos kinuha niya yung daughter ko. He kidnapped Cherry for 2 days. Doon na sinasaktan niya na ako. He would slap me. Say, never do this, Papa. Pag nasaktan ka pala, Miss Tony, no matter how strong you are, hindi ka makalaban. Parang nagugulat ka pala. Nasashock ka. Parang,
Nag-freeze yung katawan mo.
tapos ang mararamdaman mo is like, shame. Balik na naman tayo dun sa dati. I'm not worthy of anything.
Ano yung pinakamalalang episode niya sa'yo?
Makikita mo yung mga peklat ko dito, Miss Tony. Carpet burns. I can show you a lot of scars.
Anong ginagawa niya sa'yo?
He would put his leg up here in my chest.
Paanong leg?
Di ba, ang laki-laki yung hita niya. Tatakal ka niya. Idadigan niya sa'yo. Tapos,
Yung tuhod?
suntok. Oo, yung tuhog. tuhod. Tapos susuntukin ka niya, susuntukin. And on my brains, recent ones, 2022 and 2023, on my MRI, I have a lot of brain injuries. And I have a problem with my,
Hearing?
with my hearing.
Sinuntok
He's 6'4", 295 pounds. I'm 5'3". Alam mo ba, pag binubugbog niya ako, Miss Tony, parang demonyo yung itsura niya. Tumutuloy lahat, tapos dudura-duraan ka sa mukha. Miss Tony, dinudura habang ako binubugbog para akong baboy. Isasabihin niya sa'yo, you're ugly, you're nothing, you're just an Asian bitch. You're a whore, you're a slut. Alam niyo yung mga Tagalog, you're a pokpok puta. Everything that I'm not.
Hindi puro black eye ka.
Oh,
Paano yan sa work?
pumasok ako minsan, may bakay ako. Nakasandasas ako, sabi ko, naglalaro ng baseball yung anak ko. Nagpa-practice, tumama sa akin yung bola. Eh di black eye nga naman. You know what he does? Kasi I work in the ER with doctors, sometimes with case managers. He would just surprise me in the ER. He would show off. The thing with narcissistic people is, they wanna look good
In front of others?
in front of others. Miss Tony, totoo yan. He would wear a suit and tie. Siyempre, paniniwala. Tapos may dalang flowers, Miss Tony. Roses, 24 roses, red roses.
Bibigay
Tapos
sa'yo.
may dalang alahas, Miss Tony. Dadalhin, sometimes sa ER. Kailan grant? Kailangan excited ka, Miss Tony. One time, nag-work ako, hiyang-hiya ako.
Hindi ka excited?
Hindi ako excited.
Anong ginawa mo lang na reaction?
Why are you here? Ungrateful bitch.
Pag
Pagdating ko ng bahay, Miss Tony, di bit-bit ko. Siyempre, iuwi ko yun eh. Isinampal sa akin yung bouquet ng bulaklak. Kala mo ba pera niya yung ginagastos sa pabili
Sa'yo?
ng bulaklak? Ay, oo.
lahat
Kasi
ng pang
ako
show
nag-work.
off sa'yo
Ay, oo.
galing.
Nagtayo kami ng mga businesses. Wala naman siyang alam sa businesses. Nakakuha ako ng mga contracts sa government, sa PhilJobs, everything legal. I worked so hard for that. Lahat ng mga businesses namin sa akin, Miss Tony. Tapos nagme-make ako ng presentation sa mga governor's office. Sasabihin niya, it's my idea. Citadel, you have to mention it's my name. Name the business under Jones. So, all of our businesses is under Jones, under his name. Kinulong niya kami sa mga closet, pati mga anak niya. Hindi niya kami pinakain. Pinubugbog niya kami. Naglakad kami sa snow nang walang sapatos kasi pahihirapan ka. Yung ito-torture ka lang. I've never met a man like that. Pagkalit siya, palalabasin ka niya pag sa snow timeout mo. Para kaming bata. Para kami nasa military.
Tapos, kailan kayo papapasukin?
Pag magbibeg ka na, he would bring me to another state. Kasi di ba, Wisconsin is a farm. Farmland. It's a dairy farm. From Chicago, drive ka. May mga cornfield. Ida-drive ka doon, papatayin ng ilaw. To-torture ka niya doon for 3 hours, 4 hours, miyak ka. Luluhod ka. Pag sinabing luhod, kiss my feet. Hindi kiss mo yung feet.
Ba't yun niya papalit sa paa niya?
Kasi, ang tawag niya sa akin, I'm just an incubator for his kids. Kasi sabi niya, you're a Filipina. Filipina, sabi niya ganon. You're just my servant.
Anong ginagawa mo kapag sinasaktan ka niya? Sinasabi mo ba sa kanya to stop?
I've learned, if you want him to stop hitting you, just give it. Just like that. Here. And at one point, he said, keep on working. I worked straight for 18 days, 16 hours a day at the hospital. Just so I could buy him whatever he wants because he's always flying here sa Philippines. Pinagtayo ko ng business, Miss Tony, ganyan ako baliw. Lahat ng pera ko, Miss Tony, naubos. Binenta ko lahat ng naipundar kong lupa.
Hindi ka naawa sa sarili mo?
Gusto ko lang, Miss Tony, kasi may nagmamahal sa akin kasi feeling ko, if I have a family, di ba gusto lang naman natin magkaroon tayo ng pamilya, yung atin, matatawag nating atin. Gusto ko kasing bumuo noon. I didn't have a perfect family. Kaya sabi ko, pag ako lumaki,
At nagkapamilya?
magtatrabaho ako, Miss Tony, tapos gusto ko buong pamilya masaya. Pangarap ko lang, Miss Tony, pamilya lang. Kaya ayoko, kaya lagi kong hinuhope. Alam mo, pag nandun ka, kahit bugbugin ka, Lagi ko sinasabi sa mga anak ko pag binubugbog ako, tomorrow is another day, we're going to survive this. Did you know what my ex-husband told me in court, Miss Tony? Sabi niya sa akin, come back to me. No one else is going to love you but me. I'm the only one who's capable of loving you. And I believed that for many years. Kaya nga bumabalik ako eh. Kasi walang tumutulong sa akin, Miss Tony. Walang humihila sa akin, walang tumutulong. So, sinong babalikan ko? Sinong paniniwala ako nagmamahal sa akin? Di ba siya lang? So, I'd always go back to him. Because at the end of the day, gusto lang naman natin to be seen more than anything else. When finally, 2018, binugbog niya yung son ko na ended up in the ER.
Yung firstborn mo?
Firstborn ko, bruises, putok to, tapos broken.
Yung panganay mo?
Yeah, na
Bakit niya binugbog?
if you don't follow what he wants, bugbog ka. So I went to the ER. I saw my son. Talaga dito buo. Tapos sabi ng doctor, arm was broken. And DCFS, yung parang DSWD, andun automatic yun sa Amerika eh. Your husband is in the hospital. Your other two kids are in the police station. So sabi ko, I have to talk to the police and DCFS. I told my son, please forgive him. Forgive him, we need him. Because at that time, I felt like he's the only one that cares about me. That loves me. Bakit, Citadel? Bakit ganyan ka mag-isip? Iniisip ko sila, mahal ko sila eh. Parang nag-overcompensate ako on everything. Kailangan good mother ako, pero ginagawa ko. Pero pinakiusapan ko yung anak ko, anak, promise, ngayon lang, hihiwalayan ko rin siya. Huwag mo lang ipakulong, kawawa yung dalawa mong kapatid pag nakulong siya. Uwi ka na lang sa Pilipinas, uwi tayo. Promise, I promise you. And then I promised him. And he said, remember, Mommy, what you told me? When I turned 16, you're going to leave him kasi kaya ko na. Sabi ko, okay. You're 16 now. And then kinuha ko yung dalawang kapatid. And at that time, yun na rin yung naging turning point. And then he asked, sabi niya, I will let you go. I have your naked pictures.
Sabi ng asawa mo.
This was 2016. Kaya tama talaga yung sinasabi sa yung sumbungan ng bayan eh. Kahit asawa mo, wag mong padadalhan talaga ng Tinakot
Kahit
nila ako.
asawa niyo, huwag kayong magpadala ng naked pictures.
Wag.
Lesson din yun sa atin na sa mga babae, kahit gaano natin kamahal ang isang lalaki, huwag tayong magpadala ng mga litrato na pwedeng gamitin against us in the future, no?
Yun ang natutunan ko eh. Hindi na. Kaso
Hard
yung
lesson
sa akin,
learned.
yeah, late na nung nalaman ko. 2016, nangyari na yung Miss Tony, sunod-sunod ng arrest. Sabi niya, if you buy a house, I'll let you go and the kids. I'll sign the divorce and this and that.
Ginawa mo?
Ay, ginawa ko. Miss Tony, he was in the Philippines. I applied for a pre-approval of a house. I got approved. Bumili kami ng house, 2017. Pag-move namin doon, Miss Tony, sabi niya, he's gonna sign the papers. Hindi, Miss Tony, sumama. Doon ang marami akong records. There are only 30 days in a month. Ang police, Miss Tony, pumunta sa bahay ko 49 times to up to 54 times. It's a fact.
Bakit pumupunta sa bahay mo?
Ang
Dahil
record ko ng police record mula nung nag-divorce ako, Miss Tony, ganito kakapal.
police record ng pambubugbog niya?
Napagpunta ng mga pulis sa bahay, pati pambubugbog.
Anong gusto mong malaman ng mga babae sa story mo? Kasi marahil merong mga babae na nandyan sa ganyang sitwasyon or may mga babae na papunta sa ganyang sitwasyon. Anong gusto mong sabihin sa kanila?
Get out. Seek help. Never be ashamed. Never be embarrassed that you're going through that. Hindi ka dapat mahiya na nabubugbog ka. And to all the people, I'm appealing na sana naman dun sa may mga alam na may mga binubugbog, be kind. Be kind to us. Be extra kind to us. Be extra compassionate. Napakadaling sabihin, ba't di ka kasi agad lumabas? Ba't hindi mo kasi agad hiniwalayan? Tapos pag na-taken advantage ka naman yung nire-rape ka, sabihin, ba't di ka sumigaw? Ba't hindi ka humingi ng tulong? Ba't di ka tumakbo? Ba't di ka? Napakadaling sabihin. Pag nasa abroad ka, walang mag-aalaga ng mga anak mo, nagtatrabaho ka, tinatakot ka, wala kang pamilyang mapuntahan, saan ka pupunta? In my case, Miss Tony, wala kasi ako napuntahan eh. Tama na yung, we'll pray for you. Okay na ba yun? Hindi naman yun okay eh.
So, ang tanong nila, paano ka nakaalis sa ganyang buhay? Paano mo naitaguyod ang sarili mo? Because now you have multiple businesses. Naging successful ka, nag-flourish ang career mo.
Miss Tony, nakamit ako ng mga bigating tao, ng mga tao na hindi ko inaakalang mamimit ko sa buhay ko. Nang wala akong pera sa bulsa ko, meron lang ako. Lakas ng loob, tsaka pagsisikap. Sabi ko, para sa mga anak ko, babangon ako. Masakit nga lang kasi yung nagtiwala pa sa'yo yung mga taong hindi mo kamag-anak.
Ito kasi yung story mo is a story of redemption, survival, and how you can turn your life around despite of everything that you've been through and you went through. Diba? No matter how painful, chaotic, toxic, lahat na. Diba? Pero kaya mong baguhin ang buhay mo. Kasi yun ang nagawa mo. To think na you went back from zero, tapos na-rebuild mo yung sarili mo. But healing is a lifelong process, lalo na kapag the deeper the pain, the longer the healing, di ba? Your kids, you're going through
That's what
therapy.
my therapist said. It's a lifelong process. It's a process.
Laging may triggers, may traumas. You live with a trauma. That's the side effect of the
Yeah, the
abuse.
PTSD.
Pero dito natin makakita na habang linalakad niya yung healing journey, nare-rebuild niya yung sarili niya and she's able to put up businesses for herself. Diba? So ang iisipin nila, ang tatanungin nila, paano niya nagawa yun?
Try to connect with the people that knows you the best. Yung lumaki ka, kung saan ka nagmula, kilala ka, the person that you are. Hindi yung sisita dahil na nabugbog na kung ano-ano na nangyari. I reconnected with them. That was the start. And I was lucky enough na hindi na ako nagsisik ng validation from other people, Miss Tony. Okay lang. It's okay kung pangit ka sa paningin ng iba. It's okay. It's okay kung wala kang mga kaibigan, kung iniwan ka nila. And I have found, dun sa lahat ng mga naiwan sa akin, I have found it only takes one person in our lifetime to believe in us, to trust us, to give their faith in us, para we can feel so invincible again.
Ikaw naman sa sarili mo, anong natutunan mo sa lahat ng pinagdaanan mo? Anong na-discover mo kay Citadel?
Si Citadel pala, matibay at matapang. Citadel, my name is a fortress. It's a stronghold. I will only answer to God and to my children. Okay na ako. Kasi yung mga anak ko, alam nila yung storya ng buhay namin.